Today I'm sharing easy scrap wood DIYs that turn leftover wood into budget-friendly farmhouse and rustic home decor. Welcome to the Chic Show. Today's playlist is hosted by Rustic and Lace DIY, Divine Designs, and Craftastic DIYs. This decoupage paper is by the painted photographer in the Maker's Box. I'm also using this scrap piece of wood that I did thrift, but it looked like somebody had hand painted the front of it. I'm just using a permanent marker, and I'm going to be coloring in the skate strings with this red marker. Painted over the one side that was painted with white chalk paint, and now I'm adding some Mod Podge after the paint is dry. I plan on doing the iron-on decoupage method, so once this Mod Podge is dry, I will place my decoupage paper down and then iron over the top. I'm not concerned with how much the paper overhangs because I can sand that off and get a nice clean edge. Once I have the paper in place, I do like to cover it up with a piece of Teflon just to protect my iron and the paper as well. By ironing over the dry Mod Podge, the heat will actually reactivate that Mod Podge and the paper will adhere to the piece of wood or whatever surface you're using. I usually start in the middle and then work my way out, and making sure to get the edges so that there are no wrinkles. Once the surface has cooled down, I use my finger sander and I sand away the excess paper. Connie with the painted photographer uses rice paper, so it is a little bit thicker of a paper. It has lots of little fibers in it, which are lovely, but it does take a little more elbow grease to sand away those edges. I had some leftover ribbon from Christmas, and I just made a simple bow and then used some baker's twine to tie it in the middle, and I'm going to be adding this to the top of our skates. I decided to give this a little bit of a valentine flair, so I have some of these little wooden hearts with the hole in the center from Dollar Tree, and I just used that same marker to color those hearts in. I then used the tails of that baker's twine that I used on the bow and tied the hearts to the baker's twine. I added a little hot glue to the top of the bow and also to the back of the hearts to hold those in place. Bins. It's just a scrap piece of trim of some sort, but I gave it a coat of Waverly chalk paint in Snow White. Once that was dry, I also gave it a coat of Pent Art's Fine Line Crackle Part 1. So I painted this on the top and then I let it dry completely before I could move on to the next step. In fact, I waited so long that I forgot what I had originally started on this piece, so I didn't really go in the right order. Once this was dry, this is where I should have added the second part of the crackle, but I forgot, as I said, and instead I went ahead and used the paint inlay from Spring Medley, and I'm using this little row of roses that fit perfectly on this piece. And in order to apply a paint inlay, you need to give it a coat of chalk paint, then give it another coat of chalk paint and apply the inlay while the chalk paint is still wet. So here's my wet coat. Then I will spritz the inlay with a little bit of water and apply it to that wet paint. Once I have it placed down there, I spritzed it with more water and then used a wet paper towel just to kind of dab back the excess water, but to also push that paint inlay down into that chalk paint. And then you want to set it aside and let it dry completely. Usually I wait overnight. I just have better luck with it that way. So the next day, once it was completely dry, I spritzed it with more water, gave it another dab with my little towel, and let it sit for about 30 seconds before pulling it up. Not always perfect, but that's what gives it charm. And you can actually reuse these paint inlays about 3 times, and each time you're going to get a little bit of a lighter look. So if you're looking for that vintage, worn, aged look, then this is the project for you. I'm dabbing away the excess water without touching too much on the paint inlay because we do want that to dry completely. It's best to seal it with a spray sealer, but once it was dry, for me, I added that second crackle product. And now I'm going to let that dry completely. Once it's dry, I came back with some brown wax or dark wax, and I'm just going to rub that all over the piece. And this will bring out the crackles. Now, there weren't as many crackles as there would have been had I used it right, but I'm still pleased with the way it turned out. For this one, I'll be using the Sparrow's Nest mold. And for this one, I'm going to be using 2 of the birds and the nest. Again, I am trying to use up that dried out air dry clay, but I did place it in 2 of the molds of the birds and 1 of the bird nests. When you use clay, you do want to dust these molds with some cornstarch so that the clay will release. Once the clay releases, you can work around the edges with your fingers to get the look that you want. I painted both birds with fusion paint in French eggshell. The nest will get Waverly Antique wax. Once the paint and the wax was dry, to bring out the details of both the birds and the nest, I used some gold rub and buff. But before using that, I applied some clear wax so that I could have more control over moving that gold rub and buff around. The rub and buff really brings out the details of the birds and the nest, and the clear wax allows me to wipe back in places that normally would be difficult with the rub and buff. This is a thick wood piece that I thrifted, I believe, at the Goodwill bins, and I went ahead and gave it a coat of DIY paint in Farm Fresh. Then I used a couple of gilded transfers. These are not from the spring release, these are older ones that I have from last year, and I applied this label one to the top left, and then I'm going to apply the branch one down at the bottom right. Now that I have the transfers in place, I'm going to position my birds and my nest, and I'm going to use some Tight Bond Quick and Thick to apply these. To add a little more detail, I sanded around the edges of the wood piece, and then I used some more of that gold rub and buff and just rubbed it along the edges. I love the way this one turned out, and I would love to know what you think about it. Please let me know down in the comments which of these scrap wood projects you enjoyed the most. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so you won't miss anything that is to come in the future. If you love scrap wood projects, easy woodworking DIYs, and affordable home decor ideas, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join me for more creative wood crafts. And if you're looking for another video to watch, I recommend this one right here. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to share the chic. Bye now.